High Admiral Zahn of the Galactic Imperium stood on the command deck of the Stellar Devastator, the flagship of the 12th Imperial Armada. Before him, the view screen displayed a small blue-green planet Earth, as the locals called it, inconsequential, primitive, yet stubbornly defiant. "They have ignored our final ultimatum," reported Sub-Commander Vex, her scaled skin reflecting the red emergency lighting. "The humans refused to surrender their world and join the Imperium." Zahn's lipless mouth curved into what passed for a smile among his species. As expected, these primitives still believe they can resist. Begin the preparatory bombardment. The Armada, 200 warships strong, moved into position around Earth. The humans had managed to destroy 3 Imperial vessels during the initial engagement 2 days prior, an unexpected feat for a species that had barely reached their own moon. But such resistance was ultimately futile. "My lord," Vex suddenly tensed at her monitoring station. "We're detecting spatial distortions at the edge of the system." Zahn dismissed her concern with a wave of his clawed hand. "The humans have no significant space-based defenses. Continue as planned." But Sir Vex's voice faltered as the command deck's ambient lighting flickered. "These readings don't match human technology signatures. Something is coming through. Multiple somethings." The spatial distortions grew, tearing open the fabric of space itself. From these wounds in reality emerged ships, massive, angular vessels of obsidian material that absorbed light rather than reflected it. They moved with impossible grace for their size. "Identify those vessels," Zahn demanded, unease creeping into his voice for the first time. Unable to comply, the ship's AI responded. No match in Imperial records. The black ships, 47 in total, arranged themselves in a formation between the Imperial Armada and Earth. No communications were broadcast. No demands made. "A primitive species like humanity couldn't have built those," Zahn muttered. "Open a channel to the unidentified fleet." The view screen shifted to show the bridge of the lead black vessel. Zahn expected to see some unknown alien species, perhaps ancient enemies of the Imperium, from the outer reaches. Instead, he found himself staring at a human. The woman sat in a command chair, her dark skin contrasting with a white uniform, adorned with unfamiliar insignia. Her eyes held no fear, only cold calculation. "This is Admiral Helena Winters of the Terran Black Fleet," she stated calmly. "You are in violation of sovereign Earth space. You will withdraw immediately." Zahn recovered quickly from his shock. "Impossible. Human technological development is thoroughly documented. You have no capacity for ships of this nature." Admiral Winters smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. "The Imperium's intelligence has a critical flaw," she replied. "You assumed that because Earth's public space program was limited, that was the extent of our capabilities. You never considered we might choose to hide our true strength." "Even if these vessels are somehow yours," Zahn countered, 47 ships cannot hope to defeat 200 Imperial warships." "Perhaps a demonstration is in order," Winters said, making a subtle gesture to someone off-screen. One of the black ships moved forward, positioning itself directly before the Imperial formation. A pulse of energy, invisible except for how it distorted space around it, shot forth. It struck one of the Imperial cruisers, which simply ceased to exist. No explosion. No debris. The ship was there, and then it wasn't. Stunned silence fell across the Imperial command deck. "That was a courtesy warning," Admiral Winters continued. "The Black Fleet has protected Earth from the shadows for 2 centuries. We allowed your scouts to report our primitive status. We observed your Empire's expansion and brutality toward lesser species. We prepared." Zahn found his voice again. "Why reveal yourselves now? You could have maintained your deception." "Because it's time the galaxy understood," Winters replied. "Humanity isn't joining your Imperium. The Imperium will be seeking terms from us. Another black ship moved forward, its weapons systems charging. "You have 30 minutes to withdraw your forces from Earth space," Winters stated. "After that, we will consider your continued presence an act of war." And Admiral Zahn, her eyes narrowed slightly. "The galaxy should know that humans don't start fights, but we certainly finish them." The communication ended, leaving Zahn staring at the implacable black vessels. "Orders, High Admiral?" Vex asked quietly. Zahn's mind raced through calculations, possibilities, and the certainty of what the Imperial Court would do to him if he retreated. But he had not reached his position by being foolish. "Prepare the fleet for withdrawal," he ordered. "And update the Imperial archives." Earth classification changed from primitive/targets to advanced/avoid at all costs. As the Imperial Armada retreated, Admiral Winters watched from the bridge of the TDF Shadowblade. Humanity had remained hidden long enough. Now the galaxy would learn why Earth had always been left alone by the truly ancient species who knew better than to awaken the sleeping giant.